Well, thank you everyone for watching. I am here with Tom from Metis. It's another episode, and I'm super honored to have him here. Tom is the executive lead slash CEO at Metis. Thank you so much, Tom, for having me here, or you being here on the podcast or episode.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. Thanks for reaching out. I always love to really share what we're doing at Metis and really connect with the community and your community as well. So excited to kind of have our conversation today and just kind of bring some highlights to
Yeah,
the industry.
let's do it. Actually, I had the honor of talking to Elena before, one of the co-founders of Metis, and she explained her whole background story and how she got to Metis, and that was already super interesting and inspiring. And then at the end of October, I actually already met you, or I mean, we didn't speak, but I saw you for the first time at Chainlink SmartCon in Hong Kong. You were actually talking at the Nasdaq booth, and I was there. I was standing right next to you, but you were still talking. And unfortunately, I had other interviews, so schedules didn't really align. But it was cool to see you there for a split second.
Yeah. I think just traveling, the opportunity to really travel and really spread the message, and glad you were there to support too. But I'm glad we're here today
Yeah.
to have the opportunity to speak.
All right. Yeah. Let's dive into it. So, um, I mean, there are a lot of interviews out there that you've done about Metis already, but a lot of change. Like I saw, like Metis is making fast and a lot of progress, especially in the last few months. So I wanted to start off the first more basic question. Metis describes itself as a superfluid, self-sustainable blockchain, and that sounds very good. But can you explain a bit more what this means exactly?
Yeah, so we were one of the first L2 to really decentralize our sequencer pool. And that with that, it unlocks the capital, I would say, layer of staking and blocking or restaking Metis asset that secures the network. So it creates a capital layer where people can utilize that asset where it's not idle and interact with other DeFi protocols in the ecosystem. One of the things with the Metis sequencer is redistribution of the value to all the parties that are securing the network. So in terms of what that means is entities, projects, or any kind of supportive group that helps bring value to the ecosystem can partake in this uh, locking and securing the network. And through that, the rewards of the contribution either is TVL, transaction, users. It's being recycled and redistributed to the users instead, or the entity, meaning that they have another source of value where they are rewarded for their contribution. Like, hey, I am project A, B, C, and I'm bringing new users driving transaction. That's contributing to the transaction value and the fees, which gets redirected to them with their contribution. Either their delegated tokens to lock into the ecosystem, or they have vested interest through securing the network. So when we say super fluid, it's really having accessibility where assets and tokens are able to be utilized in other DeFi mechanics, which is really easy. And you see that with ETH, that really kicked that off with EigenLayer. For Meta's utility, the asset is used for gas, governance, and security as well, as security is securing the network, I would say,
Yeah.
just to clarify on that part.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, there are many layer two solutions that they especially prioritize scalability and low fees. And beyond those aspects, would you say that this, I mean, self-sustainability, is that the most unique value proposition that Metis brings?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of ways to compare, right? Like when people look from the outside in, it's like, hey, what makes you different? I think it's the vision of the team, what we
Hmm.
stand for as an organization. No matter where the market is shifted, we're still firm on our belief of really creating an environment where we're focused on decentralization, providing fairness, and as well, it's not about just saying, hey, we're the fastest, we're the cheapest, but we're intent focused on what the industry needs. So when Meta started, it's like, how can we scale Ethereum? There's a lot of pain points. So we created a solution, one of the first three layer twos. And with 2025 coming into play and happening now, we do see a shift in AI and not just a superficial awareness shift, but actually application where users, participants in the ecosystem can really abstract some of the complexity of DeFi, engagement. So we do see a strong use case. We've been researching and developing for the past 18 months, and I spoke to one of our researcher on one of our company, I would say, getaway retreat, and we had a conversation about data. And from that point on, that we have been developing under behind the scenes, but just with the alignment now and the huge focus with even the regulatory side for the US,
Yeah.
huge focus on digital assets and AI. We just, it just feels like it's just timed perfectly for us.
You mentioned AI. How exactly is Metis like utilizing AI in its processes?
Yeah, so we just announced our regenesis, which is we are refocusing our energy and efforts to solve an area that we feel like needs a lot of attention.
Mhm.
With data set being you can't really verify where the data or the agent is gathering its data if it's true data. So it becomes about a transparency and honest information and data as well. So it falls in line with what our ethos is as Metis, and also what the market is really needing right now. It's almost like I saw a conversation, I think with Effie. She said, "Know your agent," meaning you got to know the data that's powering your agent as well. If it's malicious, if it's like corrupted data, then you don't really know what you're getting.
Definitely, there's so much, especially when it comes to AI and crypto. You see a lot of or Web3 technology in general. There's been a lot of convergence lately, and it's very interesting to see. And you notice that more and more crypto companies, like the company I work for, they're also looking into implementing AI agents more and more because it's more efficient and it's safer and faster. So um, yeah, it's interesting. How is that being perceived with the projects you work with or the clients you have?
Yeah, I think for us, we want to hear what the industry is needing, but we have had this plan for some time now. So now just bringing it to market and really bringing awareness with it. One of our
Yeah.
first closely incubated project that is launching will be Laz AI. So that will be focusing on verifying the data and just kind of the foundational pieces for any AI application. And it's not just AI; it's basically data, verified data, and most of the AI kind of agents are using data, scrape data, pull data, and then having actionable items that are programmed into kind of how they are built. So in terms of like how it's being recepted, I think people are really interested. A lot of people don't know what AI can do. And for us, we're still exploring all the possibilities. So right now, it's almost like a free for all. What can your AI
Mhm.
agent do? How are you applying it kind of with some of the teams that have been developing AI, and how do you integrate that with blockchain? So it's bringing a lot of, I would say, innovation and ways to approach AI. And now it's like with DeepSeek coming out, how safe is your data? How can you verify the data? So it all aligns with what we're trying to really push forward, is like knowing your data, verify your data, and really creating, I would say, more efficient data utilization for these models.
In general, not specific to Metis, but in general, the use of AI, do you believe, or especially in crypto, there comes some dangers with that as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Because if I am a user on the other side, and I want my agent to perform trades for me, how they have access to the wallets, how do you know they're doing the right kind of,
Yeah.
if they're not siphoning assets, if it's not pre-programmed or if somebody else has programmed it, but you don't really know the code or the full
Mm.
action. Hey, what if it hits a certain kind of threshold and then it acts prematurely into sending the fund somewhere else, right? It could work up to a certain threshold until a threshold is met. So I think I'm not really sure on that side, but that's kind of what I'm seeing too. So I think for the security standpoint, it's very important. You might have an AI agent that's also reviewing the constant code of this trading agent that's
Mm.
managing your liquidity pool, right? And then having a hard maybe breaker inside that. I'm not really sure, but I think it's very open to maybe some teams and
Mhm.
research teams to really develop this.
I don't have a lot of experience, sorry, for when it comes to AIs and trading, but it's interesting. Like there is a use case for it, and yeah, as long as it doesn't end up bad, why not use it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because it'll definitely ease the use of blockchain, because blockchain could be complex already. So if you could just have a simple interface where somebody from that's new can participate in all these activities or manage, just swapping network is already kind of confusing. Plugging in the right RPC, address as well. So if an agent can say, hey, you're looking to trade this, and they can add that to kind of your wallet, and help execute the trade or manage that on the back end. I
Yeah.
think that's kind of where uh, blockchain and chain abstraction will be taken to another level.
Yeah, 100%. I want to go to another very interesting topic that, well, I noticed that Metis, you are very much focused on funding and grants and your ecosystem growth, and you've been very active in with those initiatives. Could you share a bit more insight into how these programs are structured and how Metis is supporting projects in their ecosystem?
Yeah, so managing grants and evaluating teams has been a challenge to see, because it's hard to really categorize different projects by the team and kind of like what metrics are the best used. So we're working closely with Thrive and Gitcoin. These are entities and projects that are really focused on the grant side, the milestone verification. So anybody that wants to get involved, we would probably recommend going through our partners to really help guide them through. But yeah, we're super excited. We're looking for innovative teams. They're actually truly building something unique in the AI space, gaming as well, DeFi protocols. So those would be the best sources to really to get involved in our ecosystem.
How does the self sustainability in Metis, does it have to do anything with those projects, or do these projects, yeah, how do you have to use Metis to be able to join the funding or the grants program?
Sure, I think you can just go to those website Thrive and then apply. And with self-sustainability, we want to see teams that are have a unique use case. If they don't have I would say a value capture model, or how do you really structure your costs to really stay sustainable and not just kind of like, hey, we want this grant to build our team, but we don't have a commercial model yet. Our team and our resources can help that team to help incubate or help take it to the next level. As developers, some developers aren't well versed in all the business side as well. For me, I'm on the business side that with my experience, but on the development side, that's kind of like we have team members that are really great and knowledgeable in this area. So in terms of like sustainability, yeah, I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, definitely. Are there any projects that stand out that have joined so far, or were there from the beginning, and that where you saw like significant growth because they joined your program?
Yeah, we have a handful of projects that just got approved for grants and mini grants as well. Some notable ones I would say is Growth Hitters. They're based in India, but they have a great user base. Score Milk as well, gaming platform. Supported Arena Faith. It's a mobile game that's backed by Tencent and a few major brands, Animoca, I believe, as well. So in terms of projects that are notable, we're still getting quite a bit of influx, but our new focus on AI, not anything that is in the pipeline that I can really highlight besides the one that we're working closely with to incubate.
This is amazing. I like that you're helping projects bring value to the Web3 system and or ecosystem, and the way you do it is also it's pretty cool. So thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so much influx of projects. It's hard to filter out, but we work with great partners as well, and partners that are maybe not named here with like Thrive and Gitcoin, but it helps kind of really, like you said, to diversify. You don't know what the market is actually going next, but it's great to support great teams that are truly focused. I think that's one of the key teams, knowing teams that are committed to what they're building and have a clear understanding of where they're going or what they want to achieve.
Another partner of yours that I want to talk about, since most of my videos are about Chainlink, and Metis is part of Chainlink's Scale program. How's this collaboration been going so far, and can you elaborate a bit on how this partnership benefits Metis and your ecosystem?
Yeah, we love Chainlink. I think Chainlink has been one of our most supportive and greatest partners. They're really involved in the industry. They provide a lot of resource. All the partners are great as well. In terms of like providing the data and kind of like the tools from Chainlink, it has been great for all our project with the program where they don't have to worry about that aspect that is being managed and offered from the foundation itself. So in terms of like Chainlink and some of the innovative products, especially like CCIP, we were one of the first to be in the know and also integrate with CCIP as well. And that goes hand in hand with our staking model or locking model with Metis. So the relationship with Chainlink has been great. They're innovators in this industry. Great team, great brand. Yeah, love what they're doing.
Are there other Chainlink products that Metis is using besides CCIP?
Currently, that's kind of the newest integration from Chainlink side, besides the Oracle price feed.
Okay, yeah.
The VRFs, I'm not quite sure yet, but I have to double check on that.
It's 2025. Some exciting things have happened in the last few months. I'm sure of other crazy things are going to happen this year. Um, Metis wise, what can people expect coming year, coming months?
Yeah, so from us, we learn from what we have built. And we hear and we see the different challenges. We're evolving into what the market needs. Us as a company organization, we are here to provide solution to expand kind of the baseline of ethos of what blockchain is, transparency, decentralization. So we're moving into the AI sector, and we're really focusing on that because we do see a high need and an expansive sector to grow. And there's many verticals to expand on. There's so much. What can you do with AI? But at the end of the day, you still need to really focus on where that data is coming from. And there's a lot of discussion right now on like data and where is the source and the I would say the how honest is the data? Is it corrupted? Is the intent of the data as well? So all this is a big focus for us for 2025. To really achieve that as well. The technical infrastructure has to be able to support that. So one of the exciting things is we're upgrading our technical infrastructure to really be the backbone or the baseline to really support all this AI development. So these are, I would say, from the technical aspect, are two major focus, but we're really expansive and really open to really expand beyond that to support projects and dApps, because those are the ones that really create utility for the ecosystem. So big focus on builders and also users as well.
Are there any trends or I would say hypes, but that's the wrong words. I'll stick with trends. Or any trends that you see emerging or getting more popular?
Yeah, I know. I want to see if I can really think of something other outside than AI. I know RWA is a big thing because you hear BlackRock talking about tokenizing, assets and bringing it on chain. I think that will be a huge market. It's not really, I would say, exciting or sexy, but it's a great shift for the industry as for us and I would say the blockchain space. If we can tokenize all the assets, imagine the borderless trading and accessibility that brings, which really highlights why blockchain is here.
Yeah,
AI is a kind of a really evolution where people are really engaged because they're using it. Everybody's using, say, ChatGPT, DeepSeek now as well.
yeah,
Um,
the whole thing. Yeah, does Metis do anything, or any of the partners, or your any of your accelerator programs, grantees? Sorry, are they using Deepin as well?
Deepen, yeah, we do have, with Deepen, this kind of falls in line with some of the things we're doing. We do have some, I say, internal discussion on how to apply Deepen. We're talking to, I would say, a few partners. Aether is one that have a really big Deepen infrastructure project. From the mobile side, there's a lot of approaches there as well. So from Deepen, it's definitely something that we do see where it could be very consumer. You're seeing a lot of attention on like AI glasses as well, and how people are gamifying, different projects. You see vape, which is pretty interesting, but I'm not sure how that would play out. But
Yeah,
those are some interesting ones that you kind of really highlighted.
yeah. Another, it's a more philosophical question, but I do want to ask because Metis is also involved with, well, DAO and decentralized apps and stuff. I asked my previous guest as well. Um, Last year was a big election year, especially like I'm from Belgium. We had multiple like with local elections, European elections, we had in America elections all over the place. Um, and in many countries you see something that you can describe as representative democracy. You elect a person that represents you in a government, or yeah. And with crypto, with DAOs, do you believe that this technology, or just blockchain technology in general, can bring us closer to a full true democracy where everyone can vote equally? Because democracy in real life, true democracy where everyone's vote would 100% count, I don't believe that exists because it would just be chaos. Do you think that could exist with blockchain technology?
Uh, from my view, I believe it could be possible. You hear Elon Musk talk about having transparency on chain. I think that that could be a first step on the spending side. But from a voting and adoption, I think we're quite a few years away. I think there's too many influential parties that need to know and understand the value, but also they have to adopt it and make sure that, hey, this is the step that we want to do. And really, how do you verify all this? It will fix all the ballot voting, all the issues
Yeah.
with kind of like I would say manipulation. 100%. But are we? How close are we? I'm not quite sure, but we're making strides. So it's great for the industry.
Yeah.
Maybe if you ask me how soon, maybe in the next 5, 6 years, maybe the next presidential term in the U.S., when we might see it. But that's still a optimistic outlook.
Yeah. Yeah. We saw a lot of, especially on the Chainlink side, you see a lot of capital markets and bigger worldwide financial industries, or traditional financial industries, like you have Euroclear and Swift. They've shown interest in using uh, blockchain technology, particularly CCIP in Chainlink's case, to bolster real world assets and to tokenize as many things that you can tokenize. Yeah, do you believe that that could happen this year as well, or is it something like you mentioned? No, it's for next term, for in a few years.
Well, with the new presidential president, it seems like he moved things pretty fast, which is great. I think with Chainlink supporting and maybe advising, even on like the Swift side, and maybe laying out some framework like, hey, you can verify these ballots. I think that would be a good first step. But in terms of like all this coming into play, I think that from a infrastructure standpoint, there needs to be testing. The companies that will be utilizing all this, they need to really make sure that the redundancy is solid as well. So we'll see. I can't give you a number, but I would
Yeah.
say probably in the next 5 years or so, 5, 10 years.
And where does Metis want to be like the biggest player? And you want to keep growing as a layer two solution, or do you see Metis expanding beyond that as well?
Yeah, beyond seeing us as just like, hey, we're a layer two solution, what we are is basically a solution company. We're finding with blockchain as our core. So we're 100% focus on the AI side, the data side, and that's kind of where our heart is. From a general aspect of ecosystem and projects, we want to create one of the most secure networks as well, but have accessibility to the broader network. I think right now the industry is really omni-chain experience. So that's one of our focus, having even verified data through some of our incubated projects, that will open up to other networks as well. So it's not just silos like, hey, we're just an L2 for Metis. You can see us as a infrastructure that has strong focus on certain areas that provide solution for the whole industry.
Awesome. Yeah. Um, a final question: how do you see layer twos in general evolving over the next years?
I think it's not going to stop, and the barrier to entry is lower, which is great, but it's also will highlight the challenges. I think one thing that I'm seeing personally is
Hmm.
a lot of these network that, hey, we're going to become our own network. They have challenge of uh, bringing in the right tools, having the right framework, having the right capital to bring users in, or have the resources to sustain. To build out a network, it takes a lot of resources that people may not see and experience. And how do you really carve out this niche of like this special kind of protocol you're doing, or a chain focused
Yeah.
application focused chain?
Let's say, I don't know, nothing about Metis, what's the first source I need to go to learn more about Metis and to get into dive deep into your system?
Yeah, I think Metis.io would be the best source for our latest. You can read our blogs that we are updating, providing the latest insight of what we're building in an ecosystem. Our social media is a great way to kind of see all the activities as well. And yeah, I would say those are the two best sources, our social media and our website.
And if you're a builder that wants to build on Metis, would you recommend Thrive or thrivemetis.com?
Yeah, I would recommend going to our website. You have access to Thrive there, or you can just go Thrive and click under the Metis kind of sector and get started.
Awesome. Then I highly encourage everyone that watches the video to do that. Thank you so much, Tom. Yeah, any departing words of wisdom?
Excited about 2025. We have some great announcement coming up at ETH Denver. I'll be at Consensus Hong Kong, so love to connect with the industry, also the community as well.
Also, are you guys going to be at ETCC as well in Paris later this year? Oh no, it's in Cannes this time.
I would like to say we will be there. At what capacity, I'm quite unsure yet, but that's up to our events team to decide. But we'll definitely have presence there.
And hopefully, this time I can also shake your hand at Chainlink SmartCon, wherever it will be this year.
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be my pleasure.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, Tom, so much. And everyone was watching. Definitely go check out Metis.